We're representing the Kwanz-opp project featuring Gangstas Growers training program.
Sweet soul hot sauce.
Kwanz-opp cooperative.
The Kwanz-opp project in Gangstas Growers was birthed out of being trained by True Living Well and seeing their training program, working with unions and organizers talking about the fight for 15 and wages and living wage and people needing resources. It was also birthed out of working with Occupy the Hood, organization I was a part of, and us organizing a apartment complex in Bankhead that's no longer there, called Chapel Forest. And in that organizing, we realized that we didn't fully help political educate everyone at that apartment complex, and that people needed resources to energize their actions in the movement. It was torn apart, even though we had to sit in at the mayor's office and everything, but the city offering these small resources kind of blew it apart, along with sabotage and just everyone not being fully, politically educated. Seeing the class divide of knowledge within the Black community, where I got homies over here that's doing yoga and eating well and, know about Marcus Garvey and all the things, and now I'm rocking with the hood, that may have heard of some things and know some, but weren't in practice because of a lack of opportunity and knowledge around those things. Seeing food go bad at Black farms because there wasn't enough labor. Yeah, it was birthed out of, seeing that Black farmers didn't have enough labor so that we can create a self-sufficient food system, and being in community with young people that were involved in gangs, that were getting locked up, that were dying in the streets because, in general, it felt like after the crack era that we stopped fully loving and caring for young people the same way as we used to. We started Sweet Soul as our first worker-owned cooperative because we knew that we wanted to be self-sufficient, and we know that worker ownership is a way for people to be able to begin sharing more, and wealth creation, right? We knew that it was a way that we can create wealth or security within our communities, and share our labor.
Essentially, we started the cooperatives for invasive species, so like the kudzu and English ivy, things that aren't native to America, that come in and choke out our natives and take up occupied space that we could essentially use for farming. We try to work with urban farms in Atlanta, just basically doing heavy lifting for a lot of older seniors in the community.
How I got started is I went through the Gangstas Growers program, came when I was like late 16. I turned 17 in there. I graduated, I did a 6-month program, went to the Sweet Soul side, just stayed down. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get it up, trying to get more wholesale orders, just be worldwide and global with it.
The community has really received Gangstas Growers and the young people that have come out the program to join these cooperatives or strengthen these cooperatives really well, because you usually don't see young people, certain young people in the spaces, right? We may have our college-educated young people that are around, but young people that are coming from communities where they may not have grown up with certain privileges, don't be in the space. Folks that have been incarcerated, well, I can't say, I don't know everybody's background, right? But just blatantly, yeah, I'm formerly incarcerated young person, see that in the space. So Everybody always welcomes them with open arms and, treats them like family.
Some land that we've stewarded in the Atlanta area, polyculture productions. We've been to Phoenix Gardens. We've done some maintenance at West Atlanta Watershed Alliance. They have a community garden on the backside of their building. Yes, we've been to a sister named, she goes by Beretta Scott King. She is a pro-arms and pro-empowering Black activist. We've...
High Hog.
Yeah, High Hog production farms. They are textile farms, so they focus on fibers and dyes and indigos and stuff like that. I feel like the community has accepted us as the youth and wanting to actually hear our experiences and our knowledge, and not just necessarily telling us off or telling us what's right from wrong, essentially.
The work that's happening on Sapelo and that is needed is, Sapelo being one of the last holdouts for Gullah Geechee folks. The descendants there talk about how that land is connected to the people. The people of that land are connected. Our ancestors are from Sierra Leone. That's really the Gola and Kissi people, Gullah Geechee. And on Sapelo Island, it's not like Hilton Head. It's not like, these other islands that have been fully colonized. It's raw land. And just the experience for them to go to Nanny Goats Beach, pristine beach, ain't nobody out there. It's just precious. But, with UGA down there, and now some white folks got a permit to open up the first bar and grill down there. Not the first, right? But their bar and grill. That, to us, is a sign. You can envision hotels and everything coming, after that. Once you get a destination spot for folks to hang out, they come in and they're buying land up everywhere. So for, our sister Tina of the Mystic Roots Foundation, who has earned her way onto the island and has been there for 3 years, has been working with the descendants. This year was our fourth time going down to Sapelo, and the young people's energy is needed. When the folks that are the descendants come and teach them how to fish in the old ways, how to do the basket weaving with materials from the land, educating them about the history and the importance of repopulating that land with not only hoping to create enough energy to bring descendants back, and also just keep it out of, just keep it in descendants' hands, keep it in Black folks' hands. You understand? It's ours. It's theirs. And they like us there. We want to be there. So we bring the youth down there to experience all those things and to learn and just be disconnected from, the city life, and to see the peacocks and the, and relax. And then also we take a shark therapy trip every year where it's an ecological excursion where not only do they get to get on speedboats and get out in that blue water in West Palm Beach and hang out with the tiger sharks and lemon sharks, because if you think about it, sharks have been really looked at as dangerous creatures, understandably, but as, and been discarded. They're being killed, their fins being chopped off, eaten, all the things, right? Our young people, young Black people, are also looked at as very dangerous, but both are important to the ecosystem, right? Very important. Sharks are very important to the ecosystem. And most definitely, our young adults Black youth are also important. So they get to do, some service down there. So that is something that is necessary, for them to experience, we feel. So we're definitely raising money around that. And these 8 acres that we're getting a 99-year lease on, and partnering with these 2 older couples, Black folks, with hemp for life, and building worker-owned manufacturing facilities. We're making everyday items out of industrial hemp and bamboo. Where I see our co-op in 10 years, 20 years, where I see our co-op in 20 years is the young people really directing the vision and the mission of the Come Up Project, cooperatively running that. We see, we see these cooperatives like full of young people. 200 years from now, we see our vision where we have regenerated the ecological, economic, and social landscapes of our communities. Our businesses are teeming with commerce, and our community, our people in the community are happy and healthy.
Worldwide, we inside 7 down to Whole Foods, Sprouts. Anywhere that vegan and not vegan too. It's just a good hot sauce overall. So we're just trying to be everywhere, worldwide. And to keep it sustained, to keep these young folk coming in. Like, you know what I'm saying? We need more worker owners in them. For sure. More young worker owners.
Where I see Kwanz-opp in 10, 20 years, traveling the world, removing invasive species, working with other cooperatives for different necessities and needs. Real communion over the labor. 200 years, it's still going. Kwanz-opp still in full effect. People outside more, just getting in touch with the land, really.
You follow us on Instagram at Sweet Soul ATL.
You can follow Kwanz-opp on Instagram at Kwanzaa_OOPP.
Yes.
And Gangsta Grow Up, my fault.
Go ahead.
I thought you were gonna say Gangsta Grow Up.
Do it.
Okay, and Gangsta Grow Up program at Gangstas to Grow, the GANGSTASTO Grower.